Just checking. Good morning, everyone. Yes, we're live. It's wonderful to be here with you, and we're doing our morning minutes this morning about suffering. And it's an interesting question, isn't it, about suffering? Is there virtue in it? Is it necessary? And I would go as far as to say that there's no virtue in suffering. And when we are suffering internally and we're projecting that out and acting it out even externally sometimes, it's just a really powerful clue that we are really have moved our inner compass away from what's true within. And if you take a tiny little look, you will see that in that moment or in those moments you're actually needing something that you believe you cannot give to yourself or that you do not have within you. So, when we look at suffering can appear in the tiniest little ways. It's just tiny little frustrations. It's almost that they're almost like feel like they're not even really happening, and yet they build very quickly, one on top of the other. So we have this tiny frustration, and then it builds and it builds, and we're right down. We're actually going down a path that is old and present, obviously, because we're reliving it. We're reliving a false sort of idea, false belief inside of us. So suffering alerts us. It's like a big bell. If we had a big bell we could ring, it alerts us that we've lost our way and we're running away from our real true home, which is our true nature within. And it doesn't really matter what you call that. Some people love to call that, their inner guide or love. For me, that my true nature is love. My true nature is real love, true love. And when I leave that place, not the fantasy love that tells me that I need to look for that outside of myself, but when I leave that place of true love within, then undoubtedly I am going to suffer because I'm following the path of fear. So you can only go down one of two paths. You can either have your feet, your compass, directed at love, and I mean like real love, where you have need of nothing at all because you have it all, or you have your compass and your feet really landing in fear and doubt, and that's where lack lives. So it's important for us to know that suffering is a key it's an alert, an indicator, call it whatever you want, that we've lost our way and that we are shifting our inner compass and anchoring ourselves, placing our feet in lack. And so we can really start to gain an awareness inside of ourselves of that. That's something you could do today. Is if you're feeling just tiny little bits, like really watch for the tiny little bits of frustration, or if you're feeling that little bit of unsettledness, agitation, if you're feeling like something's missing. We've spoken about what is missing. When we feel something's missing, that's when we've lost our way and we're entering that place of suffering. Because deep down within, you know that you are everything. You know that you are love. You do know that deep inside of yourself. Whether you can remember it or even believe it at the moment, it doesn't really make much difference. You have to make those gradual progressions back to go back home. It's like each step that you take, you're not, you're consciously saying, I want to go back home. I want to go home to my real home, which is love within, my true nature. That which is, all that I actually really desire is to be there. Doesn't matter how many distractions I create in the outside world, hoping I'm going to find it out there. Really deep down in that infinite intelligence that you are deep within, you absolutely do know that you are that, and that your whole purpose here is to come from that and to give that form and to give from that. that's an unlimited well of goodness, purity, giving. Doesn't get tired, doesn't feel ever drained. So again, the feelings of feeling drained or feeling like we're overwhelmed, that's where we've lost our way again. And it's just so lovely that we know that now, and we can very lovingly and delicately, sweetly, kindly, gently just guide ourselves back. And just the recognition that we're lost is enough for now. So there's no virtue in suffering, and it's just a signal. We're giving it a lot of different words. A signal, it's like a big bell, it's like an alert, it's like a warning. And it's really beautiful that you know that now. Now, we could go much deeper into suffering. We won't now because it's our morning minutes and it's just a few little moments together. But we will in the mentoring programs. We're going to talk about the connection that you have in your subconscious to suffering, and that you'll be surprised where that comes from. You'll be surprised that in many cases your suffering will be completely connected to your relationship with your parents, maybe one or the other. And that you are just reinforcing and repeating this pattern. And if you don't end it, your children will have to continue it on, because at some point in your lineage, your ancestral lineage, someone has to say that's enough. Now, I'm hoping that's going to be you, and I'm hoping that you're going to allow me the opportunity in the mentoring programs to actually support you and teach you and show you and guide you on how you can begin to do that deeply and profoundly, so that you're really not only changing your own life, but changing the lives of those around you through demonstration and through a beautiful way of influencing them, so they too can pick up where you may even have left off, and they can continue to change their inner world and inevitably the world of those around them. Take care. Thank you so much for being with me in Morning Minutes this morning, and aspire to a higher love. Remember, it is what you are. And I'm so privileged. I feel so privileged and honoured, really, that I get to be here with you, raw and real in the mornings, giving you pieces of truth that you can take into your daily lives. Take care. Thanks for watching.